This is hypnotic authenticity. This is a space for inner clarity, where hypnosis meets self-inquiry, where the stories that you carry can become gentle invitations for change. We're going to explore identity, emotional harmony, and authentic living through subtle, mindful approaches and a really, really good sprinkling of hypnosis. So take a slow, deep breath, and let's begin.
I'm going to talk about your inner control freak and how to loosen its grip. The desperate need to maintain a grip on things which are, by definition, outside of your control. Keeping multiple plates spinning on sticks and then running around making sure that they continue to spin. Having a radar constantly on a state of high alert for potential danger, or thinking that you can get other people to do what you need them to do in order for the world to remain within the box of the story of your requirements. That's a good few descriptions of control freak, right? Maybe one of those relates to you, maybe yours is slightly different. There are many ways that you can look at control as a phenomena of our insecurities, let's say. The one I find quite useful is that it is a learned response to a historical inability, failure to anticipate. So something happened in the past that, with the benefit of hindsight, you think you should have been able to foresee, anticipate, prepare for, and therefore avoid or mitigate, and you didn't. The learning experience for that was then handed over to the rest of you, which kind of, in metaphorical sense said, I know how to do this. I'll stick the radar up, okay? Or I'll make sure that I get the ducks in line. I'll get everybody doing what they're supposed to be doing. I'll box in all the risks, whatever it may be. And the end result is utterly exhausting, right? Utterly exhausting, because, well, you can't control things that are outside of your control. So you are fighting an unwinnable war and investing massive amounts of energy in so doing. So here's something that I'd like you to consider if this is something that you relate to. The only time, you can already feel it, the only time that you are truly in control is the moment when you feel able to release your need for control. I'll say that again in a different way. The only way for you to be in control is when you know that you can relax your grip on control. The only way to truly be in control is to understand that you will deal with it. The way to be in control is to permit all things to occur, to understand that they are outside of your control, and to know that because you trust yourself, you can handle it. Even in spite of the fact that there was a time in the past that you probably failed to anticipate and didn't handle it very well. Okay? So this is a learned experience from the past in my story, may or may not be correct, but let's just go with it as a possibility, because it's now been handed over to the back of your mind and you're not quite sure why you're doing it anymore. So there's a number of ways that you can shake the tree. One is when the need for control appears, you can kind of follow the thread back as to when the first time was that you could ever recall feeling this need. That's quite useful sometimes. So assume that the first thing that you think of is not the one. Keep going back in time. It's like, okay, when did I feel this need to be in control? How did that feel? Was that feeling familiar? Yeah, that feeling was familiar. Okay. When before then did I have this need to be in control? How did that feel? Was that feeling familiar? Yeah, it was. Keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. This is one of the reasons why I work hypnotically, because it's easier in hypnosis to exaggerate a feeling and to go straight back to the first time you ever felt that feeling. You do it without the chattering part of your mind trying to get in the way and trying to own the experience. So it's simply easier to do it in hypnosis. But you can do it consciously, you know, but you kind of have to kind of get out of your own way. Permit yourself to see whatever is there and be okay with that. I'm going to have to stand up now because I'm kind of, otherwise I'm going to get a glowing yellow. Look at that, isn't that just fantastic? Yeah, so you go back in time, you find your historical experience, perhaps, that led you to this conclusion that, you know, that the world is unpredictable, that I need to maintain a watch to maintain my security, my safety, my sense of well-being, my sense of inner identity, whatever it may be. You know that better than I do. So what do you do with that? I'm going to go up here so I feel a little bit more secure. Because there is an inner child in there somewhere, most probably, who was scared. Okay. There was a deeply meaningful moment that instilled this idea that the control is going to have to be there for eternity to make sure that XYZ never happens again. So there's a few ways to do that. One is to bathe that wounded inner person, that inner child or whoever it was, whatever time it was, one of those elements of your subpersonality which is going around inside your head, or one of your historical yous, and give them a massive hug. Give them all the love in the world. Kindness always wins, okay? So treat yourself, treat your prior yous with kindness. They didn't know better. It's all very well to look back with today's knowledge and say shoulda, coulda, woulda. But at the time, pretty certain you dealt with it the best you could with the tools you had at the time and the constraints you were under at the time. And the sheer fact that you didn't do anything but what you did defines what was possible and realistic at that moment. If you can get to the point of actually understanding that you really had no choice in the matter at the time, that can be very, very powerful. The other way is to say, okay, at that time, I did what I did, or I didn't do what I didn't do. But that was a long time ago when I had less choices. I had less flexibility. Today I am who I am today. I've learned from that experience, or those experiences. if I find myself in a similar situation in the future, I will not act as I did before. But in the meantime, keeping the radar up, or trying to keep all the ducks in line, or trying to keep all the boxes safe and locked shut, is detrimental to my personal well-being. So I'm going to choose, as an adult, a better way. That can work. Another way can be, all right, so I have created a story inside my head based around my past experiences that were correct and true at the time, but are those stories correct today? Are they actually valid? Are they correct? The things that I learned at that time, are they true? Are they realistic? Are they fair? Okay, so there's lots and lots of ways. If you can find within you the reason why you have that story running inside of your head, then you can reevaluate it. You can send love and kindness and security to the you that experienced that at the time. You can share with that you some of the amazing things that are going to happen to you after that moment. The things that at that moment, that person, that child could never have guessed. Let them see that you're still here, that you survived, that everything is okay. Whatever makes sense, okay? But make friends with your past, accept your past. If you made some horrific mistake, what are you going to do, okay? It's done. It's absolutely done. You cannot go back and change the past. This is one of the problems of the human condition, right? Animals don't do this. Well, we don't think they do anyway, you know? This is why it's useful to live in the present moment rather than living in the past with our regrets or living in the future with our worries. Because they're just playing mind tricks on us, as if we were omnipotent and able to go back and fix the past. It's done. The past belongs in the past. We're an organism, not a mechanism. Just because we did something that way in the past doesn't mean to say we're automatically going to do it again in the future, if we give ourselves the permission to choose rather than just react. But don't forget that ultimate meaning. The only way to be in control is by permitting yourself to loosen that grip on control. That may turn out to be the most powerful way of relaxing your control, because you are increasing your control by loosening your control. I know that's a complicated one to think about, but I assure you, if you discuss it with your heart and your stomach, they will explain it to you. Yeah, there you go. I hope that's a useful way. The idea of loosening the control freak is to get a better stress level, a better composure. When your control freak is feeling secure and safe, you're less irritable, you're less edgy, you're more likely to act in your best interests. When you're in a state of high alert, you tend to think more black and white. You tend to have more exaggerated responses. They're less nuanced, and they tend to be less good for you. So it's a very useful thing to do to relax that control freak. Ultimately, it's kind of learning from the fact that, all right, you made mistakes in the past. That's what human beings do. Let's not corrupt the future for the sake of an error of the past. You can choose to do so if you wish, forever. But there's only one person that will be suffering from that. Okay, it's like you're pushing against reality in the vain hope that you can change the world. It's not going to be. So I hope that's useful. If I think of anything else, I'll write it down in the comments below. But yeah, I hope it's useful. If you have queries about it, feel free, ask me or ask your friends. You can learn a lot from asking people that are around you. If you can find someone nearby who seems to have it all together, you'd be surprised that probably beneath the surface there's a lot that they don't have together, that they're also a member of the human race. But B, ask them how they do it. Ask them what it was that they learned, and listen and pay attention and take actions. Okay, this is how we grow. It's by doing something different from what we normally do.
Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If it resonates with you, then follow my podcast. I would also personally be really grateful if you might wish to leave a quick rating. It genuinely helps others to discover the podcast. If you personally would like more guided meditations, you want some deeper insights, you'll find all my links in the description. If you prefer a more visual boost, then you might want to check out my YouTube channel called Authentic Life Hypnosis. And if you're looking to do some deeper work that goes beyond one-way audio, then obviously you're very welcome to reach out. Equally, if you have any questions, I'm here to help. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.